Ram just detonated a pricing bomb that's shaking the American truck market to its core. Ram 1500s, 2500s, and even premium trims are being discounted so aggressively that some dealers are calling it a fire sale. We're talking about markdowns that were unthinkable just months ago. Double-digit percentage price drops, inventory piling up on dealer lots, and customers walking away with jaw-dropping deals. But here's the kicker. This isn't just a short-term discount to boost sales. No, this looks like a desperate move by a legacy brand in freefall. So the big question is Ram about to collapse? Or is this a bold attempt to outsmart the competition? Stay with me, because what's happening behind closed doors at Stellantis is even more shocking than what's happening on the showroom floor. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down the real stories behind the headlines. If you care about cars, trucks, and the future of the auto industry, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about something big. Monumental even. Ram, one of America's most iconic truck brands, has triggered an industry-wide disruption with plummeting prices that signal something deeper than a seasonal promotion. We're not just seeing discounts, we're witnessing a brand potentially entering crisis mode. Let's get into the full breakdown of how we got here, what it means for you, and why Ram's latest moves could set the tone for the entire US truck market moving forward. In the span of just a few weeks, Ram trucks have seen some of the most aggressive price cuts in the brand's modern history. We're not talking minor dealer incentives here. Some Ram 1500 models are being advertised at discounts exceeding $12,000. The HD lineup, 2500 and 3500s, isn't immune either, with certain trims like the Laramie and Rebel seeing markdowns of $10,000 or more. In several US regions, Ram trucks are being offloaded at prices we haven't seen since the late 2010s. And this isn't a rumor. It's backed up by dealership inventory data, automaker incentives, and boots-on-the-ground reports from sales. Teams who say they've been instructed to move metal no matter what. One dealership in Texas reported having over 90 Rams in stock with no serious buyer traffic in weeks. Another in the Midwest said they've started offering zero down, zero interest plans just to get people in the door. That's not just promotional strategy, that's panic. So, what caused this firestorm? Ram overbuilt. Coming out of the pandemic, Stellantis anticipated strong demand for full-size and heavy-duty pickups well into 2024 and beyond. But instead, that demand plateaued and, in many cases, reversed. Buyers have become far more price-sensitive due to high interest rates, inflation, and uncertainty around gas prices. Truck payments that used to be $600 a month are now pushing $900 to $1,000 for many consumers, even with decent credit. The average American simply can't stomach that kind of payment anymore. Add to that a flood of newer, hybrid or electric competition entering the market from Ford, Toyota, and even Tesla, and Ram suddenly finds itself oversupplied, overpriced, and outmaneuvered. The result? An avalanche of price cuts, public and behind the scenes, meant to stop the bleeding. Let's talk about the underlying forces behind this freefall. First and foremost, Ram and Stellantis made a fatal miscalculation on demand. They doubled down on traditional internal combustion engine trucks just as the market began shifting rapidly toward electrification, fuel economy, and smarter tech. While Ford was flooding the market with hybrid F-150s and launching the electric Lightning, Ram was still touting V8s and off-road packages as its core selling point. That approach worked until it didn't. Ram's market share began to erode quietly starting in late 2023, but few noticed. Now, it's painfully visible in the form of stagnant inventory and falling sales volume. Ram sales have dropped in 5 of the last 6 quarters, with the most recent quarter showing a nearly 30% year-over-year decline. That's catastrophic in auto terms. Then there's the competition. Ford's Maverick shook up the entire segment with its sub-$30,000 price tag and hybrid economy. The Silverado has been revitalized with new features and better pricing. Toyota's Tundra and Tacoma are gaining market share with a refreshed design and industry-leading reliability ratings. Meanwhile, Ram has struggled to bring anything truly new to the table. Their much-hyped electric truck, the Ram Rev, was delayed again. And when it finally does arrive, it will be going toe-to-toe with brands that already have years of EV experience. Internally, Stellantis has been juggling cost-cutting, labor unrest, and massive shifts across its many global brands. Ram seems to be getting lost in the shuffle, receiving less investment and innovation than it needs to compete in today's truck market. The result? The current Ram lineup, while still strong in many ways, feels outdated and overpriced. And that's a deadly combination. Now, let's pull back the curtain on Stellantis, the multinational giant that owns Ram. According to insider reports and financial documents, Ram is no longer being viewed as a guaranteed growth brand. Internal performance reviews have labeled Ram a margin pressure point, meaning the company sees it as a segment that's eating cash instead of generating profit. There are even whispers coming out of European financial circles that Stellantis is considering consolidating Ram's operations with Jeep or Dodge in order to reduce redundancy and overhead. In plain English, that could mean fewer Ram models, factory layoffs, and a major brand identity shift, or in the most extreme case, a slow phase-out over the next several years. This isn't just speculation. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares has repeatedly said that no brand is sacred in their long-term strategy. Combine that with ongoing labor disputes, rising manufacturing costs, and the looming threat of Chinese EV trucks flooding the global market, and you have a perfect storm bearing down on Ram's future. So, let's break down what this all means for you, the consumer. If you've been thinking about buying a Ram, this is possibly the best time in years to do it, but only if you go in with eyes wide open. Yes, the deals are unbelievable. You can walk away with a high-trim Ram 1500 today for what used to be mid-trim money. Some dealers are offering extended warranties, low-interest financing, and huge cashback offers just to move units. But there are risks. If Ram's brand value continues to fall, resale value could drop with it. That shiny new $60,000 truck might be worth $35,000 in just a year or two. And if Stellantis starts scaling back Ram's service and parts support, owning one long-term could become more expensive and more frustrating. You're also looking at a truck that may soon be technologically behind the curve, especially as more electric and hybrid models dominate the roads. So if you're buying, make sure you're doing it for the short-term win and not expecting long-term value retention or cutting-edge features. To wrap things up, this is a pivotal moment in Ram's history. What was once a rising star in the truck world is now fighting to stay relevant, and it's doing so with price cuts that signal desperation more than dominance. This could be a golden opportunity for buyers, but it could also be the beginning of the end for one of America's most iconic truck brands. What happens next depends on whether Stellantis can rethink Ram's direction quickly enough or whether they let it slip away while chasing EV growth elsewhere. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you planning to take advantage of these Ram deals? Or do you think the brand is on a downward spiral that's too risky to touch? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've got more deep dives coming on the truck, wars, Stellantis drama, and the future of America's automotive heartland. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. One of the most damaging aspects of Ram's current crisis is its failure to stay competitive in the electric vehicle revolution. While Ford raced to market with the F-150 Lightning and GM doubled down on the Silverado EV, Ram hesitated, delayed, and is now playing catch-up. The Ram Rev was meant to be their big leap forward, but it's already behind schedule, facing lukewarm investor confidence and questions about real-world performance. Meanwhile, consumers are being inundated with slick, futuristic options from Rivian, Tesla, and even Chinese automakers preparing to enter the US market. Ram's delay isn't just about missing early sales. It's about losing the public perception of being an innovator. In a market increasingly driven by tech, sustainability, and software updates, Ram still feels like it's selling trucks for 2018, not 2025. And that perception gap is costing them millions in lost brand equity every quarter. Behind the scenes, Ram dealerships are starting to crack under the pressure. High floor plan financing costs, what dealers pay to hold unsold inventory, are eating away at profit margins. One dealer in Oklahoma told local media that they've been holding over $3 million in unsold Ram inventory for more than 90 days. That's unsustainable. Some are beginning to offload trucks at break-even or even losses, just to clear space for other brands like Jeep or Dodge. More alarming is the emotional shift. Many longtime Ram dealers who once proudly pushed the brand are now pivoting to sell whatever else they can. Morale is collapsing. Sales staff are frustrated. Management is desperate. This isn't just a brand slump, it's a full-blown channel crisis. If the dealerships stop believing in the product, no marketing campaign can fix that.